carry potential comes from on the side of DK as we do move into the draft here for game one.
This meta is all about
that champ out of here.
Shoutouts to Lava, an old bro Corky main. As we'll see, Showmakers LeBlanc take it still available here. Won't be able to pair it with Emilio. We'll see if OKSavingsBank BRION will go for it. No, they'll take Karis's Azir inside.
All right.
Faker's first pick Azir we saw yesterday.
Yeah. I like that pick.
What a dog shit series. Well, you know what? We here on Bangers Only, if we don't have any games to review, then definitively those are the bangers. They are the biggest bangers that we could review. And considering they were the only professional games played in the world yesterday, that's what we got to work with.
A lot of threat Azir as well, but he's not going to play that, and this is as we talked about before, kind of bread and butter.
So Dplus has done nothing to fix their shot calling woes, right? They got a rookie jungler on there. They still have Kellen, so unless Aiming and Kingen are the guys who are going to provide mega shot calling.
That is what Aiming is going to be piloting here on this third pick. There's a lot available.
I don't think they are.
That Zaya is going to provide, plus how well she can build lethality, going to be quite relevant here. Yeah, and there's a lot.
So I have a question, guys. Why do you ban Melio? Why do you ban Melio and then have them first pick Azir, but then you take Vi and Rakan? So you're just like asking them to take Kalista Renata? This seems very bad. This seems like a very bad trade. Because you can't take Melio. You can't take like Lucian Melio or anything like that. What are you doing? I get Aiming is a good Zaya player, but why? Yes, that's a good point. You could play Lissandra too. You could play Kalista Lissandra. Seems abusable.
Very strong with Storm Surge on this patch. They already have a lot of Brianna. Will engage all the for Gideon, and it will be Jax.
Blind Jax.
Blind, of course.
Yeah, Jax.
And they banned Poppy, so they can't take Poppy into it. Ah, the Gragas, the King and Gragas. All right. Makes sense. Makes sense. Melio does kind of counter Rakan because you can get some value out of, you know, Melio ulting the Rakan ult, right? But you got to know that under those circumstances, they're going to take Kalista Renata, right? So it's either just disrespect. I mean, Effort is maybe the worst support player in LCK.
But the Lord, he generally is.
Morgan, it feels like he's a little bit hurt by that, you know. He's not stepping up to Kingen anymore. He's just decided to back away.
It's like, I've got a Doran shield in my inventory. It's not going to matter what you've done.
Very sad about that. Nico was a big.
I honestly think it was just disrespect. Yeah. I don't think that trading Kalista Renata for Zaya Rakan is a good trade right now.
Yeah, it is really interesting.
And especially because you don't really have to make that trade. You could have taken the Kalista or the Renata.
Such a wide champion pool, but the ability to engage.
I think you just take. I think you just get them to first pick, right? First pick is here, and then you take Vi Renata.
You could just warp entire drafts. Doesn't matter if you can scale or not. If you just get blown up or get three-man knocked up by a Pop Blossom, as we saw multiple times from Faker yesterday, it just doesn't matter. You know how well your Jax can side lane if you can never win those fights. But
well, I'm a big fan of Aiming.
For the Rakan, getting the angles for the Nico. That's something we're going to be talking about in 20, 25 minutes time when we get to these later game objective fights, like the Dragons, like the Baron Pit.
Yeah, I do have faith that this TK roster can put some good engages together. This bottom lane already, Kalista has been a big pick for the bottom lane. Envy picks it up here for his game, and they're already putting on the pressure in the lane. You see that Zaya Rakan generally early on, Rakan just hits Qs and heals you up, and you get through the lane, and then eventually Aiming is going to be a late game powerhouse on that Zaya.
I really think this mid-jungle matchup is going to be quite interesting too, because both champions have a very strong level 6 engaged, same with their junglers, so getting a flash early might just mean certain death for the opposite mid laner, as obviously if Azir forces a flash and then you have that follow-up kick play from Gideon when he has his next Emperor's Divide, then it's really difficult for
Do I know the results of the game? Yeah, I do.
He has his own ultimate, though, that could set up Lucid, so we are going to see, I think...
I always know the results. We're not watching to be surprised, guys. We're never watching to be surprised. We're watching to see how the teams win, because this is how I do prep for my shows.
Further away than it used to be, so you have a little bit more advanced warning for said ganks. But the players will have to play respectfully. Azir already kind of pushing the lane out here. Kara's doing it
and have conversations. And I have my monkeys on typewriters to look things up for me. You guys are very useful. You let me be lazy, so I just ask you to look things up for me instead of looking them up myself. And sometimes you guys know some good stuff too. And we figure things out together. We learn together.
Very annoying to deal with the shields that she can give, obviously the handshake threat.
Yeah, it's like if you had monkeys on typewriters, but they paid you sometimes.
Gives her the ability to
stack
a few more of those spears before the Ren, so she can get the bailout itself.
One day, one of us will figure out what a rookerin is. That word was definitely written by a monkey on a typewriter. Kernick Rookerin was definitely a monkey on a typewriter.
Kingen is such an interesting player to talk about because oftentimes people will be like, yeah, he was the world's MVP, by the way. You know, his Aatrox was kind of cracked, but oftentimes in regular season, we'll sit here and we'll be like, yeah, Kingen was good, you know, but you don't really see too much. Either way, we're going to talk about him later. Effort getting very low, ignited, and ticking down. That's first blood going to Kellen. As he, you know, was the world's MVP, by the way. You know, his Aatrox was kind of cracked, but oftentimes in regular season, we'll sit here and we'll be like, yeah, Kingen was good.
So they literally just stand together.
But you don't.
So it provides them an excellent engage. Aiming has no mana.
Either way, we're going to talk about him later. Effort getting very low, ignited, and ticking down. That's first blood going to Kellen, as he must have just gotten knocked up here by the Zyricon.
Effort's face when he dies.
Effort getting... King was good, you know, but you don't...
Well,
really see too...
Envy did kind of troll him. I mean, there was a ward in this brush, and they were standing on top of each other versus Rakan.
Ignited and ticking down. That's first blood going to Kellen, as he must have just gotten knocked up here by the Zyricon combo. Yeah, not much he could do to respond to that. No,
do I know what the use of the Dawn Core item is? Seems like Sona can... I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know how useful that one is. I'm still learning a lot about the new items myself, so I don't know what other champions might use that item.
Ren damage or anything at that stage, Effort is just burst essentially down, and Envy can't really offer anything in return. Really unfortunate here for the side.
The new items have stupid names though. Tunneler, Dawn Core.
Gideon's gonna come up here and take these Void Grubs. What are we calling them today? Bubs. Yeah.
What's that support item? The Zax's Realm Spike? What the fuck is a Realm Spike? Who's out there spiking the realms? What does it mean to spike the realms? Is that when everybody's living in the realm and you just like you like pour some brandy in it? Like what is it?
And we are going to take the Infernal Drake. Although we do have Envy and Effort hanging around, doesn't look like they're going to be able to actually challenge this. Of course, jungler with the smite will take that one down. And it's just a trade of objectives. Yeah, objectives.
Really important to... Okay, let's take a look at this, exactly how this went down, because Kellen and aiming here in position, Effort gets caught, Envy is able to...
Reminder, Effort could have flashed that.
Come back through. Effort has the shield, but will...
Instead, he uses flash and still dies to ignite.
Can't really do anything, just tries to push out the wave.
Thumbs up, Effort.
I feel like Effort sometimes gets caught in these moments where it's like, we have an agenda as a bottom lane. We're trying to be aggressive. We're Kalista Renata. And he's like, okay, I'm doing it. I'm stepping up. I'm going to get it. But the timing is just off, right? This timing, though, could be very good. Is Kellen going to be handshook back? But he goes all the way back to aiming. Drags the lead. Hey, I'm doing it. I'm stepping up. I'm going to get it. But
this is a funny play, though.
This timing, though, could be very good. Is Kellen going to be handshook back? But he goes all the way back to aiming.
The Q2 Whoops.
will take down the kill.
That's
Lucid
fun.
not here for this play. They don't have, you know, any idea that Gideon is coming around. There's a lot of vision control here for Bro, and they kind of baited Dplus, saying, okay, look, you got me with that play the last time. I'll step forward here, set you up for another one. But unfortunately for them, Gideon is there to follow up, hits the Sonic Wave. And that's a kill back here now for Bro. And critically, this one goes to the AD carry, picked up by Callista. The kill oppositely, of course, went to Kellen on the recon. So Envy's able to flash this. Handshake pushes Kellen back, and then with the Q connecting, it's enough damage here to come through.
Wolf just out here inventing words. Oppositely.
Yeah. Very nicely done. Just a great bait from the Bro bot lane. Gets them a kill back in their favor. Continuously see the top lane is going in favor of King, and in this case, Jack's not able to do much.
Wolf invented an adverb.
It could be critical, especially when these second set of void buffs do get spawned, and they might want to challenge for that. But yeah, it's nice to see that Bro will actually stick in this early game. Was a little bit worried that Dplus were just kind of roll over this early game, but Gideon and Envy in their own rights, very aggressive players, and they make a nice little aggressive early game play.
Showmaker has been laning very defensively in mid lane. We haven't seen any attempted Emperor's Divide here from Kars just yet. Gideon has hit level 6, likewise for Lucid. That power that I talked about in the 2v2, both junglers have. Still there, just hasn't been relevant just yet. You can see a small lead here for Kars with that push he's had in the mid lane. And now, respectfully, Showmaker.
I like the Hubris item. A Hubris is a good name for the item with the statues. Like, that's really fun.
Yeah, and as you see, Gideon is
That's a good one. It's a mixed bag.
Could look for it, especially because Kellen has
Fire the Kiernick Rookern monkey. Promote the Hubris monkey.
From that earlier play.
Yeah, effort is moving up, but no handshake or anything like that. And on vision is Gideon, so they just back away. But take a look at Lucid, trying to wrap around here. Gideon has a level on him, but red buff in the hands of Lucid. Look at the timing of this. Gideon, so they just back away. But take a look at Lucid, trying to wrap around
from that earlier play.
So the ward gets cleared. I'm just trying to see what Lucid's doing. So he stops out of vision range of Tri-Brush, knowing that that was cleared. That is some excellent timing.
Look at the timing of this.
Holy shit, Lucid plays this so well.
I mean, MV is level 6, and with this, Spectre is going to just scout it out. Look at the timing.
Did I see him?
It's actually insane.
That'd be very nice. I mean, MV is level 6, and with this, Spectre is going to just scout it out. So
I don't think they saw him. They didn't see him.
Could have been a disaster, but averted here. And
Voltaic Cyclosword.
Farming it out. Really expected we'd see more, especially when you consider Lucid.
Somebody has a full-time job that probably pays 6 figures coming up with this hot trash, guys. Voltaic, what the fuck is a Cyclosword? Like, I understand that you're trying, the purpose of language is to communicate ideas. There is nothing about the word Cyclosword, even if you're inventing words, that tells me what it is. What is a Cyclosword? Is it like a bicycle, except instead of a seat, it has like a sword on it?
Looks like Morgan got a good opportunity to just
what is it?
He's sticking in it. He's fine.
Like, just as an example, Chempunk Chainsword. That is a description that I can come up with an idea in my mind, right? Like, because it is what it is. Like, chainsword is obviously like a chainsaw, right? And Chempunk makes it sound like, it's like an anarchist, like home built, like diesel punk chainsaw. Like, I get that. What the fuck is a Voltaic Cyclosword?
The tank Gragas.
Getting shadowed here as well by Lucid. They could even maybe potentially set up for something if there's a late.
What is a Rookern?
Plate gold going over.
The word Rookern, I don't even know what that is. Like, it literally, but I think about the word Rookern and my mind just draws a fat blank, guys. What is a rooker supposed to be? It's a word that doesn't have any reference point. This is semiotics from hell. We've reached post-modernity where nothing actually has meaning anymore. It doesn't refer to any. There is no reference.
Created by the Spanish broadcast, apparently. And I think that's a good name as well. The Stevens. I mean, there's so many different things.
All right, let's go Stevens today.
Okay.
Maybe it's the new thing where we just choose a different name every day and they also get run out.
Oh, the 6th Steven is gone. I mean, that's all 6 going the way of Bro.
Yeah.
For basically no contests. And obviously, Dplus are getting some wins elsewhere on the map, but that could mean, you know, one good play, Bro might take down an early turret, and slowly they start to run away with the game in that fashion. It can be pretty dangerous just giving up all 6.
Was formerly referred to as Magic Rock. Dude, Magic Rock is a way better name.
Oh,
no. Uh-oh, the dreaded LCK pause. How long is this one? Thank you. LSD MTG. LSD MTG, are you hallucinating while playing cards?
But it didn't quite make it through for some reason.
We can say that that's the one, actually, that they chose.
Pretty sure that's the hashtag I'll be using, but, you know.
Why not both?
Okay, we can do that. Yeah. My second favorite hashtag
LSD is your initials. Oh, okay.
I mentioned before we went to this pause, we were back in, everything seems to be resolved.
You are a pro FTG player. Nice.
We'll take this
Thank you for the sub.
They had Prio there, so it's a trade of objectives. Now, Jack's having 6 void buffs is somewhat of an issue. Can be a bit of a problem. Obviously, in the early game, there's
do you use it as a pickup line when you go to the bar? Do you say, hey, I'm LSD and I can blow your mind? You should try that one. That one's for free. Actually, it wasn't for free. You paid me. That one was for $5.
Definitely can be. This bottom lane, I feel like, is a little bit concerning for Envy and Effort. Envy did pick up that 1 kill, but going even with the Zyra Khan and the Zaya getting 2 plates, it's kind of like, well,
I do use it social all the time.
Really
good.
Too much out of this, this lane
what 2 kids does to a guy's humor. 2 kids and a little LSD, you know, along the way.
If you can scale into the mid game and have some game-changing plays, as we do have a bit of a lane swap. Relatively early on. I mean, this is 12 minutes in. They are setting up for the Rift Herald that will come after the 6 void buffs, of course, which have already been taken.
And Calista doesn't have that first item just yet. As you mentioned, the extra gold for aiming allows them to have that Kraken Slayer picked up here early. So can afford this lane swap quickly here. Dplus, they put King in down here. Aiming is looking to pick up an additional plate here. No answer, no teleport, of course, for Calista. So Dplus just faster on the macro play here. BRION unable to identify this, and this is going to cost them big. You can see the gold lead here again. It's very small. We're talking sub 100 here for Dplus. In fact, now it's a slight lead for Bro, but where the gold is here on the Zaya can be a huge issue. See if they're going to try to remedy this, as Lucid is also wrapping around now. And Karis later on the play here, this could be an issue. Try to slow this down.
This is quite the difference from our last game.
Okay, are they actually going to go for it? There's the root. In goes Lucid. Effort is going to be kicked away, but Envy alone in the top side, just going to be taken out for free. Lucid flashes away from Karis, and now Karis in a little bit of trouble.
I already miss Umti, guys.
Not going to overcommit.
Umti was the reason to watch BRION. I know you guys are like, oh, I love Morgan, but Umti was the real shit. Morgan was the pleb. Morgan was the pleb pleasure on BRION. Umti was the patrician pleasure on Fred at BRION.
No ultimate used from Effort either. Very disjointed defense here, and it felt like Dplus just went fishing and caught the biggest catch of the day just easily there, as Bro should have been able to mitigate a lot of that pressure.
Maybe the one thing. Now I'm excited about new Cloud9, and I'm excited about Umti and NA. Yeah, he went to TL. He's on Team Liquid. Core required more prisoners. Core's like, I've suffered in NA for years. Now I need other people to join me in my suffering. Wait, what the fuck was that?
Trying to threaten something here, maybe a follow-up. TP also coming in from the Gragas. Showmaker looking For the play on Envy, catches him just on the edge, flashes in with the root, and Envy is going to get bailed out, though. Showmaker
Oh, he got bailed out.
By himself, and he gets taken out. And that's going to be a kill going in the hands
The
of
one-man Pop Blossom. Crazy value from Showmaker.
But yeah, that was a bit too far there for Showmaker.
Yeah, I mean,
Core has become the vamp. What is Core actually the skill vampire? You know that one of the vampire's skills is being hypnotic, right? You know, they can like seduce people and they have like a hypnotizing effect. Maybe he just goes back to Korea and then hypnotizes Korean players to come to NA, and then he sucks them dry once they're there. He requires a Korean food supply while he's in America. He's a skill vampire that can only drink, or maybe he just prefers Korean blood.
Super far behind on the rotation. Should have been called out earlier. And then this here from Showmaker, very aggressive. He finds Envy here.
He was getting flanked though, so he had to take some kind of drastic move.
Just enough time. Great play to secure the kill there. And, you know, I is denied. That's significant here, especially when you've got 6 bubs stacked up, as you can see here. But definitely a huge win for Bro.
Yeah, now Lucid should be able to get over this
Monty is cranking out lore like crazy. I'm just really tired and getting delirious.
That Emperor's Divide is absolutely nothing. Karis will flash away, though. He's got some help on the way here. Can he delay for long enough is the question. He is level 12 and actually quite tanky. He does go down, but now Gideon and Effort are here. Do they have the damage? Lucid taking 2 turret shots, and down he will go in the trade. Gideon at least able to trade one back.
Am I still in Korea? Well, I left for 6 years and then I came back, so I am currently in Korea. I came back in September. I'll be here probably about a year.
Lucid will still go down. It's a trade here, 1-for-1 in the top side of the map, and Aiming is going to be able to secure that turret top side there and back away. Showmaker will lose some health on his turret, but no secure here for Bro. And this game has just been back and forth. We are trading blows, and it makes you wonder if later on this side laning, again with 6 Void Bubs, you know, here from Morgan, we've talked about it so much, is going to be a deciding
Yeah, it's kind of scary, the Jax.
They have found some great skirmishes, but it has always come at a cost. So these champions, the Jax and the Azir, which can be a big side lane threat later.
Can I play solo queue in Korea? Sure, why not?
It's going to be a lot of gold very soon.
Yeah, at the same time, Dplus is going to pick up 3 Drakes in
What's Zaddy? Google it. Why do you guys ask questions that you can Google? I'm not Riot. I use real words. That's a word. That's a word you can Google. Rookern is not a word you can Google, as I've discovered.
Yeah, Gideon shadows here, and Morgan is going to be able to come down here and defend the bottom side turret. Lucid is going to take these Krugs. Diving this Jax could prove a little bit challenging on the other hand. Let's see if they want to commit. Karis does have teleport, and he's free to use it.
Yeah, they've got 4 guys down here on the bottom side of the map. Morgan is in a lot of trouble here. It's a CC for days as down he goes, and Kellen, of all people, is going to pick up the kill. Didn't even use Ignite, obviously not trying to take that kill. Big committal from DK, though, and now with the...
Yeah, I don't know about 4-manning that when they have 6 Void Grubs.
Already from Bro.
Yeah, if the kill goes over to Xayah, you feel a lot better about this, but you're actually going to trade a kill for 3 turrets. You got 1 yourself. Can you punish this is the question. Kingen has no ultimate. Used it on the previous play. See if Bro can get out.
Well, Effort looks free. He's going to flash away, actually, and there's the hostile.
Effort just had a better ult on Renata Glass than Execute did in that entire last series.
That's another kill in the hands of DK.
Yeah, very wild and messy game here. 3 of Dplus's kills are Kellen's, as you can see and as you mentioned earlier. So not a lot of
I couldn't catch the T1 versus Gen G thing. What do you think of the game 3? I thought it was, I mean, you can watch. It should be, I think it's up on the Bangers Only YouTube channel now, and there's an edited version that's going to go up on my main channel. I mean, it was a really clean early game from Gen G, and then it was a bit throwy after that. Like, it should have been a pretty clean closure. The Baron Steel really fucked it up.
And then, of course, this here is Effort having to flash an ult.
But I think Gen G still, their late game macro a little shaky.
There's no follow-up damage. one to go down, Envy.
Yeah. At the end of the day, Kellen's Rakan has been pretty strong so far in this game, so the extra gold, although not ideal on the Rakan, he does pick up an early redemption and even a Kindle Gem, has the Slay. Actually, both of the supports have the Slay. And so, gonna press that ult, gonna be a bit faster. Feels a bit better on the side of Rakan, I would say, although definitely a lot of good options nowadays in the support items. I'm sure Ox will talk about it during the break.
So we have this wide Baron pit here, which is actually quite interesting. It's very difficult to leave the pit through the southern side against the composition here of Dplus because they do have such great engage. I don't think we're going to see a 20-minute Baron at this stage, even with Leandri's now complete here for Karis, but they're going to threaten the idea because Morgan has teleport and Kingen does not. So they're going to group around this area and try to clear some vision and force Dplus to come out, maybe look for a pick here, as the damage output of Henna is still very high, even with only one item online. If they could end up catching someone here or kicking someone into an awkward angle, that's absolutely a Baron play with the speed in which Karis can take it. Karis actually massively ahead. We talked about some of the gold he picked up earlier here and there, but now it's kind of snowballed and ballooned into 1,700 with those turrets going down.
Now, aiming is going to steal the enemy red buff. This is going to provide a red buff to the entire team. So denies it at the same time from Bro. But if this was spotted, Bro could have gone for the Baron. Not going to happen. I thought for a second he was going to gank.
Be hard to go for the Baron.
That's probably not a good idea at this game state. But yeah, just going to take the red buff for the team.
Yeah, I mean, it's significant here. You know you can't break through the Baron pit. It was all near deny there. You can't break through the Baron pit. But
what do I think about the global red and blue buffs? I think it's fine. I think it adds some, more value for stealing from your opponents and like has some interesting effects and timers. Certainly, changes some power levels of champions. I saw a good tweet from Nymira where he was talking about how global red buff is like a pretty good buff to Azir because he procs on hit with his Sand Soldiers now, and he wouldn't normally have the red buff in previous years, right? So now that if he has that late game, it can be meaningful for Azir, which is, I think, a good point that he brought up.
You'd kind of just get rolled over at that point. I mean, imagine Cloud Soul, Slay Rakan. Like, you're just not getting away.
Without Peanut, they didn't do the gold thing that they normally do. They played the game very differently, and T1 still looked like they were recovering from their short vacations. Yeah, it wasn't a clean series. Like, I understand that people wanted that game to be first because it's super hype, but just objectively having those teams play each other as the first game on the new season when they've both taken breaks and, it just isn't going to give you much information or provide the best series. Like, if that had been a week 3 series, I think it would have been a lot better. And unfortunately, now we have to wait until the second round robin to even fucking see it again.
Lucid's looking for a flank, but he's spotted by this ward, and Bro just biding their time here as Dplus try to crack this defense.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, it changes side laning completely during the red buff duration. Oh, blue buff too, depending on the champion, right?
Already coming in onto this dragon. Karis is for now zoning away Kellen. It's a very good job. He maintains vision control.
I think it's an interesting strategic element.
Spotted. He just can't enter this fight.
Yeah, I mean, Kellen's got to pull the trigger if they're going to engage at all. As it goes to Zaya, that is Cloud Soul over to DK, and immediately side here.
How is this possible?
Yeah, I mean, Kellen's got to pull the trigger if they're going to.
How is that possible?
Showmaker spotted. He just can't enter this fight.
Yeah, I mean, Kellen's got to pull the trigger if they're going to engage at all. As it goes to Zaya, that is Cloud Soul over to DK, and immediately Gideon goes down. Great engage follow-up from Showmaker. As all of the plays here from the side of Bro just a bit lackluster, a little bit too little, too late.
Kalista used E, but didn't use. How do you? Who cares? How do you fuck that up with the Kalista E?
Just can't enter this fight.
Yeah, I mean, Kellen's got to pull the trigger.
136. Oh, that's such a tilter. Imagine giving up. Imagine giving up Cloud Soul that way.
As all of the plays here from the side of Bro just a bit lackluster, a little bit too little, too late. As one by one the dominoes fall, only Effort and Envy are left here to stand, but that is massive for Dplus, and aiming is flanking. He's like,
oh my god.
That is 5 kills and ace to the side of DK.
I mean, that's it. That might be
here from the side. It goes to
I mean, the whole thing is scuffed though, right?
Vision control of the top side here.
Showmaker spotted. He just can't enter this fight.
Like,
yeah, I mean,
here's the real question. Why doesn't Effort ult right now? Right? Like, you ult. What you do here is you should, Envy and Gideon should be coordinating this, right? So remember that the Rend, what, does about 2,500 damage to this thing, right? If you literally ult right now, if you're Effort, you ult right now, Gideon hits Smite, Envy Rends, then you get in behind, and while they're CC'd by Effort, you kick somebody back this way. He has flash. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about, it's about setting up the next play, because you can kill the Drake right now with Rend and Smite. So you should be preparing for the eventuality of hitting Renata R for follow-up. Or even just for disengage, right? Because if you hit them like this and you secure the objective, you have a choice about what you can do. Oh, it did, sorry guys, it did 2,000 damage. A little over 2,000 damage. But definitely you could have set this up better. Because instead you're just trying to use the Renata ult reactively instead of proactively. Like, you could absolutely set up a play right there.
But that is massive for Dplus, and aiming is flanking. He's like, okay, I'll show you how to do it. And that is 5 kills and ace to the side of DK.
I mean, that's it. That might be the game here. 23.5 minutes in. That's 4 Drakes and Soul and Baron. And that was the pivotal point. Bro, a swing hesitate decisive here. As watch, Karis is on the angle here. Showmaker's trying to find an entry point. And then,
because, like, look at this. Morgan's back here too.
Boom, Kellen.
And instead you just die without using kick. And Renata ult comes after Lee Sin is dead.
That's the enemy jungler gone. Showmaker says they're backing off, they're indecisive. Pop Blossom, I'm setting up for it. And bro,
terrible. Terrible.
Fall apart here. That's the power of all the engaged champions in this composition. Bro,
I just don't know what they were waiting for. Like, I don't know why they were holding Smite when they could have coordinated Smite Rend. I don't know why they were holding Kick. I don't know why they were holding Renata ult.
Right?
Fish in a barrel.
I think he said, why am I so good?
He didn't have flash. You didn't have flash. No, the bugs are in the replay, guys. The bugs are in the replay. This is accurate.
For now, zoning away Kellen. It's a very good. That is Cloud Soul over to DK, and immediately Gideon goes down. Great engage follow-up from Showmaker. As all of the plays here from the side of Bro just a bit lackluster, a little bit too little, too late. Show you how to.
That's the enemy jungle. All the engaged champions in this composition. Bro hesitated.
8,000 damage, right? Actually, I mean 8,000 point probably.
You know, Kellen's out here, back here, just simply holding down after a Cloud Soul is picked up.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna come back. DK are going to be
because he's hoping for a redemption. One stole
map and not
because without his LDR and he's isn't gonna save him. He's Envy while he's got a bailout, you know, rolling. Maybe this Callisto.
We're just skipping because this isn't worth watching.
With Kellen, he's taking a lot of damage and
there's no hope, right? You how do you ever kill aiming with Cloud Soul now? Aiming has like fucking this comp is so good with Cloud Soul. Cloud Soul on Vi, Cloud Soul on Gragas, Cloud Soul with the Pop Blossom, Cloud Soul on the Xayah. Cloud Soul and Rakan is fucking oppressive. It's like every champion is just a banger with Cloud Soul. Like you will never kill this. You will never kill this Xayah. You will never kill this Xayah ever.
And make a stand somewhere. As the engage comes in, they find Giddy, and he's rooted pretty much forever. And down he goes. The damage from aiming is just too massive as Lucid gets into that backline with Kellen. He's taking a lot of damage and will get away, but the follow-up.
Look how fast he is after ulting. Disgusting. Disgusting.
Pick up a penta here in day 2. And should just be able to, unless Kellen steals another. It's not going to happen, and aiming will get a penta in the first game of the series.
First penta of the season. Very
I can't believe they got that Cloud Soul. Ugh. Get me out.